Hi everyone, I am Dr. Sunanda Shashikant Aswale, Associate Professor, Lokmanya Tilak Mahavidyalaya, 1A. This is the pandemic period of COVID-19. The whole world is going through this grave situation. Everyone is facing different type of problem, but this college is using that difficult period as a istapati. That means संकटाचे संधीत रूपांतर करणे by organizing various programs during this lockdown period. Few days ago, they organized one faculty development program for 1 week on e-content development. Now they are organizing short-term program on research methodology. That means this college is using this difficult period for the constructive work for academic society. I feel proud to be a part of that program. So all the organizers are deserve for the congratulation for organizing such type of program in this lockdown period. My topic in this short-term course is PhD entrance examination in for SGBAU, and this topic is suggested by the organizer. I think it is the beginning of the new research methodology, and therefore it is suggested by the organization of organizers. And if you go back in past, before few years, the criteria or the conditions for the PhD was different. That means if the candidate having the 7-year teaching experience, then that candidate was eligible for the PhD program. Or if the candidate published one single author paper in any reputed journal, then he or she was eligible for this PhD. Or NET/SET qualified candidates are eligible for the candidates were eligible for the PhD. Or if a candidate cracked PhD entrance examination from any other university, then he was also qualified for PhD. These are the different criteria at that time, but the criteria has changed. Nowadays new criteria is introduced, and no doubt the PhD is the most important degree throughout the world, and the value of this degree is further increased in the 7 Pay Commission. It is the essential condition for the promotion of the teacher to associate professor. So if we think to go in this profession, that is teaching profession, or if you are working in this teaching profession, then it is essential to have the PhD degree. And therefore we have to survive in this teaching faculty, then you must have the PhD degree. This my lecture is beneficial to those students who want to make his career or her career in this teaching field and want to become a lecturer, or this is beneficial to the students which are doing their post graduation, and it is also beneficial to those persons who are not working in this teaching faculty, and that means these persons are working in different field other than teaching and want to do PhD, and so this is beneficial to those students, to those persons also, and it is also beneficial to the research supervisor who want to admit some research students, and the research student is not qualified NET or SET examination, and then you can go through this lecture. And PhD is a total program. It is not similar like the post graduation. It is a program. It consists of various steps, and the first step is to enter into this program, and I will discuss only the first step, how to qualify this PhD entrance exam, PhD, and the entry is possible due to this PhD entrance examination. No doubt, it consists of various steps. That means you have to first enter or you have to take the enter in the PhD program. Then when you qualify this PhD examination, PhD entrance examination, then you have to search various research centers, and after this you have to visit that various research center. Then you have to face this RAC of the college, and after interview, if you are selected, then you have to take admission for the coursework, and then give the examination of the coursework. If you pass this examination, then you have to write your synopsis, and you have to submit that synopsis to the university through RAC. Then face the interview of the RRC. If you are qualified, then you have to work for PhD, and after working, then you have to write your thesis, and the registration is valid. If you get the registration through RRC, then the registration is valid for 6 years. But if you complete your work in 3 years, then you can submit your thesis in 3 years. But submission of the thesis is not easy. First, you have to face pre-defense viva before RRC for this thesis. If you are crack this viva, then you have to submit the final thesis to the university, and then again you have to face the open defense viva, and if you qualified that open defense viva, then you will get the PhD. Then this is the long process of the PhD, and you have to follow almost all this process or steps. And PhD qualification of the PhD entrance examination, it is the first step. It only open the door for the PhD program and enter in the PhD program. And this is the only place. So the topic which is given to me is the entrance of the PhD program. So I will stick to the topic, and in this lecture I would like to include eligibility of the PhD and the general information about the PhD entrance. That means the first one, how to apply for this examination. Then second one, what is the fee structure for this examination, and what is the syllabus, pattern of the paper, and then how the examination is conducted, how the paper is set for this examination. Then what is the qualifying criteria for this examination. Then in this case we have to discuss, we will see almost all these topics in this lecture. Eligibility for admission of the PhD program. The first condition to get the admission in this program is that the candidate should have the master degree of the university, or an equivalent degree of any other recognized university in the relevant subject or interdisciplinary subject, with at least 55% marks for the open category, or its equivalent grade B in the UGC 7-point scale, and the 5% relaxation in the marks is given to the reservation category for SC, ST, OBC having the non-creamy layer, differently abled person. And the second condition for the eligibility is that the candidate should qualified this PhD entrance examination conducted by the Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University. If the candidate qualify or having this eligibility, then the candidate is eligible to get the admission in the PhD program. But the exemption for this PhD entrance examination is given to those candidates who qualified UGC NET or CSIR NET or JRF or a slate examination or GATE examination or GPAT examination or qualified MPhil examination, and teacher fellowship persons are also given exemption from this PhD examination, PhD entrance examination. That is, there is no need to give the PhD entrance examination for the candidate who already qualified this examination or NET or SET or GATE or SLATE or MPhil or teacher fellowship. This examination is called as MPET, and then this is the common examination for the entrance of the MPhil or PhD. This one PhD. M stands for MPhil, P stands for the PhD, and therefore it is called as MPET. It is the online examination, and this is the general information about this MPET examination. And this examination is conducted by the university once in a year, and the advertisement of this examination is published or shall publish by the university on the university portal in order to apply for this MPET examination by the candidate. And while applying for this examination by using online mode, the candidate should upload some necessary testimonial along with this with the application. And there is a fee for this examination, and for the open category exam, open categories student, there is 1200 rupees for open category and 700 rupees for reservation categories belongs to OBC, SBC, DTA, NTB, NTC, NTD, SEBC, EWS, having non-creamy layer category, SC, ST, transgender and orphans. And relaxation in the payment is given to physically handicapped candidate or physically handicapped candidate, that is blind person. There is no need to pay fees for this examination for physically handicapped person or visually handicapped person. And when you submit the online application to the university for this examination, scrutiny is carried out by the authority, and then after completion of the scrutiny, then admission card will be issued to the candidate along with the roll number. In this examination, there is only one paper containing section A and section B. Section A is the general aptitude, and this section A is common to almost all the candidates, whether belongs to the science faculty or arts faculty or commerce faculty. This is common to all the candidates, and the total MPET paper is the objective paper and containing multiple choice questions. And in the section A, there are 50 multiple choice questions, and each carrying 2 marks. Therefore, section A having the 100 marks, and the medium of the section A is English and Marathi. Section B is subject oriented. It is different for the different subject and depending upon the faculty, and it also contains the 50 multiple choice questions and each carrying 2 marks, and therefore the total marks of the section B will be 100, and the medium of this section will be in English and Marathi except the subject language. Then we can take the example, if the candidate is of the political science, then the question paper is in 2 language, English and Marathi. But if the candidate belongs to the Marathi language, then the question paper is only in 1 language, Marathi. And section is A is the general aptitude, and if we see the syllabus for the section A, then we can easily understand this syllabus is near about same like that of the SET examination, which is conducted by the Pune University. And the syllabus of the section A is that the logical reasoning, numerical ability, reasoning and language aptitude and aptitude test, and general information on environment. Candidates awareness of scientific and quantitative reasoning aptitude, analytical approach. And some questions are so designed to judge the creativity, analytical ability, reasoning ability, comprehension, then divergent thinking, general awareness and research aptitude of a candidate. And some questions are computer based, and the syllabus for this is that the common elementary computer science, basic computer awareness and uses. And in case of the section B, it is strictly subject oriented, and the syllabus for this section B is the syllabus of the PG program of the university. That is, the syllabus of the first year and second year in the PG program is considered as the syllabus for this section B. Other relevant information about this examination is that the duration for this examination shall be of 90 minutes, that is 45 minutes are given for the section A and 45 minutes are given for the section B. That means we have to solve the 50 questions of the section A in 45 minutes. That means we cannot spend more than one or we have to spend less than 1 minute for one question. The question bank is prepared for this examination. Two different question banks are prepared for this examination for the section A and section B. And for preparation of this question bank, two different committees are there. The first question bank committee for the section A, they will prepare about 600 questions for the section A. In case of the section B, question bank, in case of section B, one question bank committee is there, and it is recommended by the chairman of the BOS and approved by the vice chancellor of the university. And in that committee there are 4 persons. One is the chairperson, and the chairman of the BOS is the chairperson of that committee. Along with these, 3 subject experts are there, and the qualification of the subject expert are not less than the rank of the associate professor. This question bank committee of the section B will prepare the about 600 questions for this section B, and these questions are then submit to the designated agency for online MPET, and then MPET will be conducted online at examination center proposed by the committee and approved by the vice chancellor. Online MPET may be conducted in batches or and on subsequent days depending upon the number of candidates for the examination. And the agency make available sufficient number of computer for the examinee, and also make available networking and internet facility for the examinee to conduct the examination, that is MPET. And the provision for the assistant to the differently able candidate shall be followed as per the relevant ordinance. The agency will make question available online at randomly for the from the question bank to the candidate appearing for the MPET at the center. The MPET committee shall prescribe standing instruction to candidate for examination, which may be displayed on the website. No other person than examinee, observer supervisor, and any such person as may be permitted by the chairman or member of the MPAT committee shall be allowed to enter in the premises of the examination center. The valuation of the answer for both the section, for section A and section B, will be done by the designated agency, and then approved observer and supervisor will look after smooth conduction of this examination. Passing MPAT will be one of the eligibility criteria for the admission of the MPhil or PhD. It is the responsibility of the candidate to read all the relevant directions and the ordinance regarding the procedure of admission of the MPhil or PhD program. After valuation of this paper, the list of the candidate along with the marks will be certified by the designated agency, and this list is submitted to the chairman of the MPAT exam committee. In case if there is any grievance from the candidate regarding this examination, the decision of the Vice Chancellor shall be taken as a final. And when you give the examination, then what is the passing criteria for this examination? The mandatory 50% marks are required in each section separately, but the 5% marks relaxation is given to the reservation category, and the reservation category candidate should have at least 45% marks in each section separately. And the one positive part of this examination is that there is no negative marking for attempting in the questions, and there is no provision of the revaluation or redressal for this examination or for the answers which is given by the examinee. And if you are passed in the examination, and passing certificates of the successful candidate are displayed on the university portal for about only 30 days, and after the declaration of the result, and candidate shall have to obtain this certificate from this online from this portal, from the portal of the university, by using online mode. The validity of this examination will be for about only 5 years, and you can use this certificate for 5 years to apply the PhD program, and from the date of the result. And these are the references and which I have used for the preparation of this lecture. And lastly, I would like to thank all the organizers, especially Nanoti sir and the very energetic person, that is the Poonam Agrawal madam, for giving me the opportunity to deliver the talk on this subject and to interact with you. Thank you all.